A playground in Old Town has temporarily closed due to a browntail moth infestation. Bennett Park is home to a number of oak trees that provide shade on sunny days, but the trees are also a favorite among rash-causing browntail moth caterpillars. When TV5 was on scene, hundreds of dead caterpillars were seen around and under the trees around the playground's fence, though a few were still alive. According to Public Works, they had someone come by to inject the trees with a pesticide to kill the caterpillars. As that treatment is in effect, more caterpillars are expected to fall. Public Works says the pesticide should be effective for 2 years. There is no word on when the playground will be back open.